Welcome to the first AFO training video. Before we can start with our design process, we have to take a couple of steps. Create a new client, add a project, add our 3D scans, and then we can repair this 3D scan so we get a solid model we can work with, and then we can start designing. So first, let's create our new client. Nothing here is mandatory, so if you only want to use a client number, that's possible as well. Then we can click add, and then we can add a new project. By default it's the current year, but you can name this whatever you would like. And then we need to add our 3D scan. So here on the left we can click 3D scan to import STL or OBJ files. If you made use of our iPad app or iPhone app, you can click here on Cloud Import, fill in your reference and download the files, and so they are directly added to the current project. For now I'll click 3D scan. Here on the left we can import the files for the left foot, and here on the right side for the right foot. So let's import. Select our file. And here we have our preview. And then we can click save. If you then click on 3D scan, we can open the menu. But as you can see, this is the right foot now on the left side. So we can use this button here in the center to swap sides. And then we can click on repair to go to the repair stage. As you can see, this model is not closed. If we now click on our model, we have different options here on the left side. So let's first start with clip. Then we need to click 2 times to cut off a part of our 3D scan. And then the red part will be removed. So let's click yes. Then we got our hand here at the toe part. So I'll go to the top side for now. Click our model and we can use the delete region button. So I'll just remove this finger. So now we have all parts separately. So if we click our model, then use split disjoint pieces, we can select the model we would like to keep. And then the software will delete anything else. And now we just need to close it. So if we click on our model and use the fill holes button, we will get our solid model to make our first AFO. So after it's closed, we can click on save here on the right side and we have our solid model. Close. And click on brace here on the left. Then this will be added to our list and we can click on brace. And now we're at the design stage. So here on the left we have our views, and here on the right side a couple of steps we need to follow to get to our AFO model. So we can click on edit, select our 3D scans, and we have to click 3 points, metatarsal 1, 5 and the center of our heel. And these 3 points will be positioned on the ground floor. So now some options are visible here on the right side. We can remove the cast. So if you're using a cast, we can remove material all around it. And then we can start checking boxes. So do we want to flatten our bottom profile? So now we have 2 values here. We will remove 12 mm and add 4.8 in height to create this flattened shape. If you remove less, then you will keep more foot shape and you can create your heel and forefoot region depending on your preference or what you would like to create. So let's do this 6 and then add 2 mm instead. Then maybe we want to create a shin box. It would be best to first determine our model height, so we can go here to go to measure. And then we can measure our model. So this is around 340 millimeters height. So we say brace height on our right side, 340. And then the top side will be cut off. Then we can enable our shin box. You can also do this before, but then the stop side looks a bit bumpy. So this is our shin box based on our widest point of our leg. We can determine this height here on the right side. So this is now 10 centimeters. If we change this value, it will become longer or shorter. Then we can determine if we would like to add a toe box area. So now we have our toe box, and it will be extended by 15 millimeters based on our 3D scan. So here we have our 3D scan, and now it's like 15 millimeters longer. And we can set a toe box thickness. So now it will use the height we find here on our ball position. But if you would like to work to a specific height or don't need this thickness, you can fill in a number, like for example 20 millimeters. And now the software will make this thinner for us to the toes. In the next step at correct, we can correct our leg. So here on the right, we can see our leg correction from the rear view. So we can move it from right to left, or we can go to the side view and for example move it forward. So the right column is for the right foot and the left foot column for the left. So let's say we need to move this forward by 4 degrees. Then the whole leg will move forward. We can use our selection field to see what the leg looks like. So we can do this by holding our left mouse button and start dragging. So we can use this selection field to see the stance of our leg. Then we can add a heel lift if we would like. So let's add a centimeter. So now the software added a heel lift. We can just do the same with the toes. Add a toe rise. Next to this we can also correct the heel width. So if we go to our plantar side, we have this width. So if we would like to make this wider, we can fill in 5 millimeters for example. And this will make the heel 2.5 millimeters wider per side. So 5 millimeters in total. And then we can smooth our whole model. So we can fill in 1 or 2 and then our whole AFO model will be smoothed. We have 2 other things we could do. Smooth region. This will let you mark a region that needs to be smoothed. Or we have this add volume button. So let me demonstrate. Let's go to our side view. Then we can say add volume region. We can click on our ankle. Just use left mouse button one time. And now it has added 3 millimeters on our ankle. For preview, let's add like a centimeter. You can use this on any location you would like. So if we would have our bone here, we can say add volume. Click here. And now 3 millimeter is added, and we can determine the region by this radius if you would like to add a smaller dot. But with this you can also draw a region. So if I go to my bottom view, add volume, We can also click a couple of times. So let me click before my heel. And now it will add 3 millimeters over this edge. But you can also use a negative number. So let's fill in -2. And now it has removed 2 millimeters just before our heel. Then we can go to our next step if we have made all our corrections. And then the last thing we can do is click here on Export STL, give it our name, AFO model, and click Save. And we have our STL file that can be produced. Thank you for this short overview, and I'll see you next time.